Welcome back and thank you very, very much indeed. This is TV3Newday. Welcome to the biggest you. But first, happy birthday to Fafa, choreographer of Music and Mentor X, also member of the 3 Dance Crew, winners of 3FM Dance Challenge. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday from all of us here at Media Journal. Also to you, Gloria Amfo Asamoah of Dansuman, Kwamu Jekuti and Alpha Beta School. This is from Amfo Asamoah family. Happy birthday to you. And also today, the 2nd of November, marks the 60th birthday of a son-in-law to Mrs. Senior Lady Nana Madankwa Smith. Samuel Hansen Thompson, it's your 60th birthday today. Happy birthday. That's a Thanksgiving Mass I hear happening at the Ridge Church in Accra. Also to Asante Isaac Efrifa, the main officer of the Forestry Commission, Dunkwa Forest Division District. Happy birthday to you. If it's your birthday as well, happy birthday to you. And thank you very much indeed to Grandpa Clothing in Dansoman for my outfit. You call them 020-985-5696. Again, 020-985-5696. Get something special for yourself. The Finder newspaper starts as of, it says affordable housing bonds can reduce cost of mortgages, according to a banker, Dan Mohenu. There's a senior manager in one of our main banks. Also 17 dead in accident on Kumasi Tichiman Road. Informal waste workers raise alarm as a ban on tricycles on motorway takes off yesterday. And all set for Baomia's public lecture on digital economy today. Will this end it all, or another exercise in futility? MTN accounts for 87.48% of total trade on the Ghana Stock Exchange in the 3rd quarter. The daily graphic is next. It says, family NDC to mark JJ's first anniversary. Go for COVID-19 jabs. Health Service urges. Fatal accident pushes back rail shuttle resumption. 499 School of Law admissions. Parliament has no locus. Attorney General contends. Now, what's next on our panel? The daily guide. Yes, it says Israeli investor supports National Cathedral projects, and the investors there with Apostle Opoku Onyina, Professor. Medina protest. Sosu hot hides under Bagbin cloth. AG bounces Parliament on law school saga. And Bawumia Ashesi lecture today. 17 killed on Ofinsu Road. The Ghanaian Times is next. It says, timber market fire victims count losses. AMA NADMO move in to assist. Adolescent girls anemia program suffers setback in Ningo Prom district as parents kick against supplements for children. NPA misses November 1 deadline to remove fuel levy as it awaits Parliament to legislate the implementation. You remember that 2 months promise. And also, carnage on road. 17 die in ghastly accident. Sorry, it's on page 17. 16 others injured in head-on collision at Ofinsu Abofo. And the BNFT is a last one. It says, VIP to grace Stanchart's inaugural digital banking, innovation and fintech festival. Also, tourism growth to stay within 5% by end of year, despite COVID-19 effects. Ghana Business Awards honor 65 individuals and companies. And Executive Chairman of Ghana Link wins Excellence in Business Award, the Ghana Business Awards. Also, banking remains a game changer. First Bank Group CEO there. My guest this morning is Mr. Fred Agbenyo. He is the Deputy Director in charge of International Relations at the National Democratic Congress's national headquarters. We don't have a representative for the New Patriotic Party here, but we have an empty chair here. If the individual comes up, I'm sure we can afford him or her an opportunity to also speak in accordance with the Audi Autorem Patem rule, giving the other side a chance to speak as well. Fred, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Johnny. How are you doing?
I'm alive and well. God is in charge.
We bless God.
Yes. Let's begin with something that's crucial to me. Persons living with disability who in 2017 were promised an opportunity to be the ladies and gentlemen manning our towboats. As it stands now, some of them are complaining that they've been pushed out and that the jobs have been given to able-bodied persons and that they do not know what their fate looks like. Please play that video of the individual who sent us a couple of them who sent us videos from some of their groups regarding how they've been treated over time for more than a year without jobs.
Yeah.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Manuel Moses. I was working at Kaswa Tobut as a toll attendant. So one day we have been told that the coordinator that will be having a meeting. That was on 21st July 2020. That some of the officers will be coming from the TML to interview us. So the following day we went there and we gathered at this in the entrance over there. So when they came, I was the first person they called in the office. So the lady was their human resource manager. So she started with me by asking me that when they cross-check on their computer, they realized that I've stolen their 6,000 Ghana cedis. I said no, the fault may come from their computer. So at the end of the day, she did not agree that the computer cannot lie. So she further asked me that I cannot work with them so that they will be deducting from my pay till they finish the money. I said yes, but in my mind, I knew very well, take any pesewa from their job. So further question me that as the money is very huge, how long would they take from my pay till they finish the money? So because of that, I should know on the 21st July 2020 that my contract has been terminated. So I came home. When I came home, I sat home 1 year, 4 months today as a person with disability. I can't do any hard job to survive my life. And the government knew very well that just because we can't do any hard job, this initiative was given to us by him. And I even told that this in the human resource manager that when we were working on the Ghana highways, we do not experience such behavior. But why is it that the contract has been given to them, then they start a second person with disabilities and replacing them with the what? Able people. But they claim when they sack a person with disability, they replace with the same person with disability. But it's a lie. They sack us and replace them with what? Their friends, families, and other people. So we are appealing to government to intervene so that this person with disability who were sacked from this at the very toll bush will be sent back to their jobs. So at the end of the day, we can also get something small to feed our family. Even as I'm speaking to you now, the place of abode is a problem to me. As I'm speaking, I tend as a dependent on my parents who are at home at North to take care of me and my friends. So I'm appealing that government should intervene so that those who were sacked with a person with disabilities should be sent back to their various job places in order to better their lives.
And that's one of the victims, as I like to call him, because I think that since we decided to give to ourselves the Disability Act, we decided that persons like this will have an opportunity to participate in politics and economics and business and everything else. Well, there's a gentleman who's just called our studio and wants to share his experience. Wabi Isaac is his name. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Wabi?
I am fine. Yourself?
I am alive and well, greater than Accra. Now, you say you're a person living with disability. Is that correct?
Yes, I am a person living with disability.
Okay. You've seen the videos. What do you say?
Yeah, seeing the video, I am so touched by the work that you guys are doing for us. You know why? Because we are speechless and we are voiceless. We've gone through so much in the hand of this new company, and it is very good that you have come to our rescue. Me, for instance, I was sacked from the job for no apparent reason on 5th of January of this year. And my letter, the reason for being sacked is that I didn't put up performance for low performance. So I say, no, this has never been a ground for somebody to be sacked permanently for over 8 to 10 months now in the house. And the irony is that some of us were sacked. Most of them have been called back. Some of them have been called back to the work, even though I performed better than them. So I concur with the gentleman who just spoke that, like whom you know, like your friend, if you're your friend, the system maybe is going to favor you. So most of us are still in the house for no reason. The gentleman was told that he was accused of stealing some money or something like that. But most of us, by the grace of God, we didn't steal any money, and we are not putting down, we didn't put up any bad attitude or, insubordination or any offense. You see, but it's unfortunate that information is being miscommunicated to authority to paint with a person with disability black.
Isaac, a quick one though. You would have to tell us when you were engaged and which station you were posted to and what the scope of your work was like. I want an understanding of that.
Okay, actually, I worked at such a toll booth in the eastern region.
Okay.
That is close to Nkoko.
Okay.
When Highways was handling the toll, I was a toll supervisor over there. So allegation was leveled against me that I have extorted money from my workers. So I have extorted money from my workers. And I was actually sacked, and I fought back. So no evidence was to that effect. I was, clear for all those allegations. But when I was engaged back again, they didn't put me to the position of supervisor. Now they made me a toll collector, and I was working in the booth. Now, after 10 months later, they sacked me again. That's working in the booth. I didn't put up good performance. But if you care to know the dynamic that goes into the fair performance, you see, on election days, when the roads are not busy, or national holidays, when roads are not busy, at Kwesibet, for instance, when the roads are not busy, you are first demanded to account for a certain amount of money, which we call the target.
Okay.
But these periods are dead periods that virtually cars or vehicles don't plow the road. So putting up big performance, someone will say, I don't have the capacity to go and call the car to come and pass so that I can meet my target or something like that. You see? So basically, that was the accusation and the allegation.
How long, Mr. Wabi, how long had you worked as a supervisor before this situation befell you?
I worked as a supervisor when since Highways was handling the toll.
Okay. So in totality, how many years have you worked as a toll operator, supervisor, whatever it is?
Okay, actually, since I was engaged in 2017, I was the toll supervisor.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were part of the initial 74 who were recruited?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I was part of the initial batch who were recruited.
So what are your demands now?
My demands are simple, and from extending to that, I also speak on behalf of all my people who were laid out for no reason, who were sacked for no reason. You see, it's very unfortunate. This government is a good government who is thinking about with the person with disability, and I give credit, a whole lot of credit for that. You see, so and all of a sudden, you want to sabotage government policy by painting us black to the government and sacking us and rendering us, jobless and all that. My brother, it is very unfortunate.
How have you survived? How have you survived since you lost your job?
My brother, if you want to know how I survived, now I am like the woman in the house. Because my wife will go and sell the water and come and take care of myself and, and the children. And I'm more like the woman in the house. And it is not a decent life. This is not what some of us dreamt for. You see, until then, we were living decent lives, taking care of our wives and children and people who matter to us, and trying to explore certain areas in our lives, as in education, trying to, study and go higher a little bit. You see? So when this thing has hit us, it has truncated our vision, and, it's a very big challenge, my brother. It's a very big challenge. We plead. I am not calling to litigate. I am only pleading. We are pleading that let the love that the government is showing to us, let these people consider it. Let them take us our family, as our family.
I'll let you go. I'll let you go, but quickly, I'm curious to learn how many children do you have, which your wife is now taking care of, including you. How many children?
I have 3 children on my own. I mean, with my wife, yeah. I'll take it with my life.
Mr. Wabi, I thank you very much for your intervention this morning. And Mr. Wabi called us when he heard that we're discussing these issues. Thank you very much for joining us. Some people think we're doing this to run down government, but you heard him. He has reiterated what I said before. I said it was a good initiative in 2017 when we said we're going to reserve those jobs for persons living with disability. Now, in 2021, they are saying they have been pushed out and able-bodied people have been pushed there. If you're a presidential staffer and your job is to fight on social media, I wonder what time you have to do presidential work. Fred, let me take your initial thoughts on this one and then we will move.
Well, Johnny, thank you very much. Let me say good morning to our cherished viewers. I think that is quite pathetic listening to Mr. What's the name?
Wabi.
Mr. Wabi, you know, and the earlier tape that you played. You know, these are persons with disability who, by the current situation where they find themselves, cannot go and do much of the hard work that demands that they use every part of their body to do it. And so if this job is reserved for them, it's only fair and proper that we protect them and we make sure that they do it and do it well. And from the narration they have given to us right now, as if somebody is just up to you to take the job from them and give somebody else. They accuse them of stealing money. They might agree that, okay, you allow me to stay and work and pay for the money. I know I didn't take the money, but if you accuse him, I have no difficulty. And yes, you push him out. You know, you have not given me any concrete evidence to show that he's been involved in any wrongdoing for which you want to take him from the place. I think that the authorities that matters must step into this issue and make sure that they are reinstated. And able-bodied persons are encouraged to go and look for something else to do. This is something that really can cushion their lives. I think that we need to also find time to really talk about this toll booth and its management. I don't know who manages our toll booths in this country.
Okay, so the Highway Authority manages 18 of them, and then there's a routes company that manages 20 of them, as of the last check I did.
And so how much does this private company pay to the state? From
Well,
the management
I've
of
not
the
dug into that.
I've heard some information. That's why I'm raising this particular
What have you
concern.
heard?
And it appears they keep almost 70% of the money that they take and they give 30% to the state. We need to find out. So we cannot set up a toll booth where we are giving money to private persons at the expense of the state. Look at the roads of which those are. I don't know the last time you traveled on the Dodowa stretch of the road, Dodowa and Sumanya Road.
Right.
I don't see how this can happen in a civilized society. How do you put a toll booth on that particular road? The road is in a terrible state, and yet we have put a toll booth on it. We are collecting money from drivers every now and then. And the toll is living now in the middle of town. So if you live just behind the toll, anytime you use the road, you have to pay. I think that we have to look at some of these issues. If I agree, if you travel all over the world, they have told most of the roads to get money for the maintenance of the road. But we are paying money, and the money doesn't go into the maintenance. The roads are in bad state, and yet we are contributing. So what are we paying the money for? What are they collecting the tolls for? We need to look at it. Concerns have been raised, especially with Kaswa toll booth. Look at the traffic that toll booth is causing over there. Is it not time for us to look at it and maybe reposition that particular toll booth? What does it mean for me to stay in traffic for about 45 minutes, 1 hour, only to go and pay 1 cedi or 50 pesos? You know, is there a way I can buy a ticket in advance so that when I get to the place, I just have to show my ticket and I drive by without having to stay in the traffic for all that long? Do we have to look at all these issues? And so for me, the issue of disability and their management of the toll booth, I think it's a very, very good initiative. We need to encourage, we need to maintain them. Anytime you drive around, especially Accra, you see them, majority of them trying to sell by the roadside. If now they have gotten something they can do that, you know, make their lives more meaningful, why do we take it away from them? Some of the guys I see who drive around town, they use this small truck.
Right.
Very, very small, and they're on it. When they are driving, you can't even see that there's a human being on it. Some these days are trying to even sell a few items by themselves, and they are on wheels and stuff like that. I think that we need to sanitize the society. Whoever is in charge of this company, if it's a highway or the private people, they need to engage them, give them the needed training to the extent that they can do their work. Let's encourage them to do it and get the able-bodied people to go and do something else.
Okay, we still do not have a representative of the government here. I would have loved to hear government's position on the individuals who are working at the toll booth, the brothers and sisters living with disability, and what government's response have been, because we've played the videos for them. But we don't have a government rep in the studio. It's almost 7:30. When we get a rep here, I'm sure we can put those questions to him. But let's go to Juaben, where the municipal chief executive nominee of the president it's caught on tape saying that, well, I gave you money to endorse me and you didn't do that. We saw that someplace in the central region. That would not be the first, a couple of them. Now, I'm wondering what's running through your mind this morning. I understand the gentleman was picked up by the police and has been granted bail. If we got a video ready, please toss it in for us. And then let's take a look, this whole look at the MMDCE elections and whether or not we have not come to that crossroad where we need to really, really delve into it. Fred, while we look for that video, I'll pick your initial thought. I'm sure you've seen that video. How did it come to you?
Well, I am not surprised. It didn't come to me as a surprise at all when I saw the video, because anybody who has been following the activities of these elections of the MMDC who know that this is a practice that has been going on for all God knows how long. I don't think there's any MMDC or DC out there who will tell me, and I'll believe him, that they got their position without going around to see these assemblymen and pay money to them.
Really?
You see, Johnny, I don't know why we pretend in this country. It's as if, for whatever reason, we are so dishonest, we don't want to tell the truth. That creation in the Constitution is a terrible one. We need to look at it. If the DCs and MNDs will be bold enough to tell the things they go through before they are endorsed to become DCs and MMDCs, you'll be shocked. They have to move around from house to house, engaging the assemblymen, paying money to them. Some have to go and borrow money. So by the time they even take office, they're already in arrears. They are owing money they have borrowed, they have to go and settle. And so the man comes to office, they have to continue on this core job of helping to develop the area. He's looking for money to go and pay the money, the debt, or the money that he borrowed for him to get to the office. How do you say a president would nominate somebody? Then you call an assemblyman to come and vote. And depending upon the number of votes that the fellow gets before the fellow can assume office,
He needs to get two-thirds
of the
majority present and voting.
So once you create this in law, naturally people say, okay, you have to also give me something. Already, our assemblymen are not being paid. They are only giving some mega sitting allowances. A few years ago, we introduced motorbikes that we give to them to facilitate their movement. And so for them, that is their cocoa season. Anytime a DC is coming, they have to go around. This man now has become an scapegoat because he had decided to speak on I think somebody recorded him, and it has come and they have gone to pick him up. But the reality is that something that is happening across the entire country. Can we amend the law? Where we have gotten to right now, if it is possible for us to elect our president, if it is possible for us to elect our members of parliament, why is it difficult for us to elect our MPs through elections as we do for the other two presidents I mentioned earlier? What NDC has opposed is for us to introduce partisanship at that level. We are saying that allow people who are interested to put themselves forward. Let the people who live within the catchment area go and vote and determine who their leader must be.
The MPP says that you broke the trust that they had in you throughout the conversations. You never made this position clear, only to railroad the process when the time was due for the referendum to happen, because they wanted Article 55.3 amended and also Article 2431, I beg your pardon. And so they said you are the cause why that did not happen.
It is only a fool that doesn't change his mind. First of all, we have never, as a political party, been against the election of MMDCs. Our position has always been that we should do that devoid of partisanship. We know what NDC MPP is doing to this country at the highest level. Now, it is not for nothing that the creator of the Constitution decided that at that level of our politics, we should not introduce partisanship. Because you can get somebody who is a pastor, you can get somebody who is a teacher, you can get somebody who is even a medical practitioner who lives within that particular district, who thinks that he can contribute meaningfully to the development of the area, but who doesn't want to associate himself with any political party. But once you introduce the partisanship, you deter such persons from coming forward, to stand for the elections. And that is why we are saying that allow it to remain as it is. Let everybody who is interested put themselves forward, go for the election, whoever wins, take the office. But the current architecture that we have, that the president must nominate, the DC must come to third must vote yes before you take up office, that is, what do you see? People have to go around and pay money. And as I said, this to me, I was not upon I saw the video, because I know this has been going on all these years. If we will be true to ourselves, all the former DCs and current DCs, if they will be truthful, they will tell you that almost all of them paid monies to the assemblymen and women before they were admitted.
Okay, the video is ready. Let's go to Juaben. Take a look at it.
Who said it was something? I'm a visitor. I'm a visitor. I'm coming some of you. Okay, what I'm going to do? I'm a visitor. I'm going to go say, Mr. What is coming? I'm having some fear. That's very okay. Me, then I order this on you, sir. Order this on you, sir. What is coming? Some of you. What is coming? Some of you. I have put them some with the weekend. What is coming? Some of you. Oh, that's a bullet to prove. Who brought them here? 1,000 cities. One person cannot come up. They don't need one air control. Foolish man like you. We don't need one air control. Stand like you're coming up with confirmation center. I got to prove what is one partner. Who drive on the time. What will punish you? Also, Bolani to prove what you do. Your mouth cannot confirm pass that. But a permanent one who must have one. One man can for one. Some pennies.
So that's the president's nominee. It's been rejected twice already. The series of rejections, for me, this is sad, it's regrettable. But if you look at the series of rejections, what happened in Central Region where the regional minister had to kneel down, someplace in the north, the party chairman for the area had to be beaten by his people and all of that. You're asking yourself whether the 9-month-long wait of a government handing over to itself has served as any purpose at all.
Yeah, but we're told they were doing broad consultation before the list was put out. And so if indeed that consultation was done exhaustively, why do you have the thing that we have on hands now? They will tell you it is quite negligible, the majority of the people went through, but this could have been avoided. You see, you are going to rule over a group of people. The people must accept you. The people must have confidence in you that they can work with you. Now, the video we just watched, look at how frustrated the man was. Now insulting everybody, blasting everybody. I don't know if it's in the same district that we heard that someone had to go and kneel down before a chief. I don't know if you saw that video.
Yeah, there was another one.
Another
like
one, Ashanti region,
yes.
that they have to go and kneel down to beg the chief. The chief was unhappy that they didn't vote for the man the first time that they went. You know, it's as if now they are even being coerced to accept the nominee, even if they think that the person is not the right person who can help them with development. Per our local government architecture, development of the country is at the local level.
Right.
And so we can't just appoint anybody as a DC or MNDC.
But that's the president's prerogative per Article 2431, which also came up. Because I remember that the promise was made in 2016, prior to 2016, and reiterated in 2016, but that by 2018, we will vote for our MMDCs. That promise did not have at the base partisanship. It was later that we decided that, okay, because it already happens like you're suggesting, then let's go ahead and include partisanship in it, which your party says
we opposed.
No.
Because from the beginning, you rightly said, we'd never agree anywhere that we are going to have partisanship. We said we are going to have elections.
But the MPP insists that during the consultations, you agreed. We
didn't agree where? That we bring the evidence that we agreed that we are going to have partisanship at the local level. We have all along, if you go and check our manifesto, it is stated there, black and white, that when we win elections, we're going to have this assembly, MMDC's elections conducted as we do it for MPs and we do it for the president and what have you. That we stated very copiously in our manifesto. But we never said we are going to do it in a partisan fashion. And so they brought a proposal and then we rejected it. So if really they were minded in something they were determined to do, one would have expected that they quickly go back, remove the partisanship aspect from it. We'll come back and we go and vote. But they didn't do anything about it. And we are back to this place. The same government that has been in power for 4 years, handing over to itself. Look at how long it has taken for them to even come up with a list of persons who go and occupy the various assemblies. And even with that, look at the challenge we are having now. Some persons are being beaten. Look at the video they're showing right now again. Some people are being beaten, people are being chased. Ministers, they have to send policemen and military men to go and put pressure on the assemblymen to vote for their candidates. Now, if that cohesion is not there, that understanding is not there, how are they going to live and work for the betterment of the district? And so I think that we really need to pay particular attention to this provision in the Constitution. Can we quickly amend the provision in the Constitution and make way for general elections so that we determine who governs or who becomes the DC at the district level? Sometimes executive people are scared of the power to let go of power. Some persons will tell you these are persons who are chairman of DISEC and RISEC and whatever it is. And so if you don't get your party person to be there, you are not too sure of your safety and your security as a president when you enter into that particular district. I think that Ghana, we have come very far. We have shown that we can coexist and work. Nobody is going to chase anybody or go to kill anybody over anything. Once you are doing the right thing, and the person who is there, who occupies the office, also knows that he was voted into the office and he'll be going for re-elections. And the only way he can retain his position is when he performs on the job. And so people will go into the office working very well, to make sure that the next time they go back for the elections, they'll vote for them. So for me, we should go back, bring this issue back for discussion. Let's amend the Constitution. Let's make way for the election of the MMDCs. But the current setup as we have it, I don't think it's healthy.
Now, we're in the 11th month of the year. The government is not complete in terms of its formation because MMDC is playing a very critical role. I'm wondering how an acting MMDC who has been told not to take certain financial and policy decisions is governing the people at the local level. Mind you, their property rates are being collected, their business operation rates are being collected, their market tolls are being collected, their road tolls are being collected, all the other things are being collected. But the person who is acting on behalf of the president cannot take certain policy and financial decisions. So how are the people being governed?
But Johnny, you are a journalist, and I'm sure you are monitoring across the country what is happening today, that Ghana is on autopilot. There's nothing really.
You can't say that.
It's a reality. You see, maybe those of us who are in Accra.
You can't say that.
Johnny, I'm telling you the truth.
You can't say that.
Go to our districts and find out what is happening over there. Nothing is happening. No development is taking place. They are not fixing street lights. Road work is, apart from what the central government is doing, in some cases that you may see, that these assemblies are just saying that they're not doing anything. Because once you don't have a DC, properly sitting in the office to take decision on behalf of the state, how do you go about your development? So even though they are collecting all these things that you have mentioned, only God knows what those monies are being used for. So nothing is happening across the country, and I'm surprised that a governor that has stayed in power for 4 years, handing over to itself, why should it take you almost a year to constitute a government? And some people will tell you it's a deliberate thing. Government doesn't have money. They don't have money to pay the statutory money that they're supposed to pay to these assemblies. And so let's hold back with the appointment of these persons so that the pressure is created that because they are not in place, that's why the monies have not been released. Go and check if last year's money has been released to them or the focus have been released to them. In most cases, they have not released the money to them. There is an Assembly Common Fund. And so there's no money for the development of the country. Everything has come to a standstill. And so if I say that we are on autopilot, I think that it is real. You can go and find out what is happening on the ground.
But some work is happening.
Where? Can you give me an example? In the districts, what the districts are doing. John, if you know of any mention, I don't know. I travel around the country a lot.
I hear you.
Everywhere you go, people are complaining. Water is still a major problem for most of the districts. As for roads, we don't even have to go there. Schools are still under very terrible conditions. I don't know if they have given me textbooks to schools as we speak now.
No, not yet.
Textbooks are not there. No furniture for students to use in their classrooms.
That's a gloomy picture you're trying to
paint. I am not. It's a reality on the ground. I am not painting a gloomy picture. Johnny, take your cameramen there to go and find what is happening in the country. We sit in a crowd, we come on television, and then we scream, we shout, we laugh, we pretend all is well. There is so much hardship in our country. The country has come to a standstill. Nothing is going on. Okay. That is a reality.
Well, there's
a government that cannot hand over to itself after 4 years in office. 1 whole year in government. Common assembly, you can't constitute it. Boards, you can't constitute boards. And so most of the boards cannot even function. They can't even take decisions. Chief executives are still in the office. They are not doing anything. I don't know where we are heading as a nation, really.
The Public Affairs Directorate of the Ghana Police Service, the headquarters, this morning, had issued a statement. A press release says the Juaben MCE nominee has been arrested. Now, it says the Ashanti Regional Police yesterday, 1st November 2021, arrested the Municipal Chief Executive nominee for Juaben in the Ashanti region to assist police investigations. 2. The arrest was in connection with a viral video of the nominee, Mr. Alex Safo Kantanka, allegedly demanding a refund of some sums of money he had allegedly paid to assembly members to vote for his confirmation as the MCE for the Juaben municipal area. 3. After his investigation caution statement was taken, Mr. Alex Safo Kantanka was granted bail, and police investigations continue, and we would like to assure the public that anyone who breaks the law will be arrested and subjected to due legal process since no one is above the law. Alexander Kwekwo, being superintendent, is director in charge of public affairs. This is what the police says, but we do know that the rules of corruption and bribery, the giver and the taker are both complicit. The gentleman was in a video with some others in a room. He was accusing them, and you heard their responses, seeming to suggest that he may be right in saying that he had given them something. Why is the police not picking up the others to also assist with investigations?
Well, the police has they have to pick them. Because from the video that you just aired, that everybody saw right now, there were a person in a room that the man was directly accusing that I give them money. And so if the police really wants to get to the bottom of this issue, it's only fair and proper that those persons and others who are not even there, whom the man claimed that I gave money to, are all picked up. Because to receive a bribe, it needs an offense. And the giver too, that one is an offense. So they need to pick the two parties, and then they do the proper investigation and punish them to serve as a deterrent.
Right.
As I said, this man today who has been arrested is not the only person involved in this thing. It's something that has been going on only God knows how long, except that we don't speak the truth. And so we pretend we don't know. He has been caught on tape, and so he now is going to face the law. But it's a reality as a result of the creature we have created in the Constitution. It is something that's been happening all these years. If we want to stop it, let us do the right thing, first and foremost, by amending the Constitution. That we don't have to just limit the endorsement of the nominee to just assemblymen. Just once we take that provision out, it becomes very difficult for anybody to go out there and bribe. But yes, everybody is stealing. You have been caught, and so you have to face the music. So he has been caught on tape, saying that he gave monies out to some persons, and unfortunately they didn't vote for him. And so the police will invite the two parties, do the investigation, and whatever punishment that they deserve, meted out to them to serve as a deterrent to any person who may want to engage in a thing like this.
Let's go to Offenso Abofo, where 17 persons were told have died in a ghastly accident. 16 others injured in head-on collision at Offenso Abofo. And I'll read a bit of the story has been published by the Ghanaian Times. It says that at least 17 people, it's a story by Hope in Kumasi, Kingsley Hope in Kumasi. At least 17 people have been killed and 16 others injured in a fatal accident in Offenso Abofo in the Offenso South district of the Ashanti region. The tragic accident, which happened yesterday around 5 a.m., involved 33 people, including children. Superintendent Edu Wahin, Ashanti Regional Commander of the MTTD, confirmed the incident to the Ghanaian Times. He said the deceased involved 10 children and 7 adults, while the injured also involved 12 children and 4 adults, lamenting that most unfortunate is the involvement of the children. According to the commander, one driver was among the deceased and the other driver among the injured. He appealed to the public to help with information to identify the victims, noting the accident happened at the outskirts of the Abofo community. And that's it, Fred. These pieces of news becoming one too many. Are roads safe?
Johnny, I don't know how you can ask this question if our roads are safe or not. I think that I should be stating it quite explicitly that we are in trouble. Our roads are not safe. You see, I don't know what we pay attention to in this country. I don't know what we see as a priority in this country. Go to the police service and check the statistics of the number of persons who have lost their lives within January and October this year. The number of persons who have died through car accidents. People who have lost parts of their body through car accidents. And all we do anytime it happens and we get opportunity, we come and lament. We come and weep and cry. You know, say all the good things to the bereaved family. It ends and we all go back to sleep. Meanwhile, Johnny, if you go back to as low as class 1 and you start reading books, you will see all the causes of road accidents and all the solutions are there, even class 1 books.
In this instance, we're told that the preliminary investigations by the National Road Safety Authority says that the both drivers were tired and veered off their lanes, colliding head on. They were tired.
Have we not heard this too many times? Are we not aware that our drivers drive for hours they are not supposed to drive on our roads? Are we not aware that there are police barriers almost even our hospital on that stretch from Kumasi through Offensive to Techimada? There are several police barriers in the night. And so what happens? How do they drive past? Nobody stops them, parks them. Nobody finds out when they took off from where they're coming from and where they're heading to. Nobody checks. You see, we just don't see it as a priority. And our roads, the way we are constructing our roads, this day and age. Recently, I had the opportunity of driving from Kentucky in the United States, through Ohio, through Pennsylvania, through all the way to New York, almost 17 hours. Johnny, beautiful road in a saloon car. You wouldn't even know you are driving. Cars are not exchanging, passing by each other on the road. 2 lanes here, 3 lanes here, 3 lanes there. Head-on collision is checked appropriately. To the extent that when you are driving and you are veering off the outer lane, they have deliberately created a buffer, a rough buffer, so that as maybe you are dozing off or you are chatting, you are not paying attention, and you enter into that buffer, it will shake you. It will alert you that you are driving off the road.
We have a few though.
Where?
We have a few around the Abeka area. There's a few.
In town, in
yellow,
Accra
yes,
town.
yellow buffer. There's some I've seen in. I've forgotten some place in the eastern region. I've forgotten.
I think that we need to pay attention to road accidents. The police will stop you and check your car and see your road worthiness. As an individual, I've gone in there to buy my spare parts, fix my car. Has government also done his part by giving me a good road to drive on? At the time I'm leaving home in the morning, my car is in a very good condition. By the time I drive from one point to another point, as a result of the bad nature of the road, my car will develop a fault. The policeman is not interested in that. He will arrest me and say that my car is not wealthy. And then whatever money you're supposed to pay, you go and pay. I think that the number of lives we are losing to road accidents is a major issue that we need to pay attention to. One, most of our roads are too dark. 2, broken down vehicles on our roads. You can be driving on these highways in the night and suddenly you just in a curve, you meet a car broken down. No reflector. What most people will do is just go and get some leaves, you know, and put on the road. Some will go and put even stones and what have you on the road. When they finish fixing their car, they will leave those in the middle of the road, they are gone. And you just don't get it. Cars are overspeeding. We don't have a system to check the speed limits.
Well, our police and drivers have gadgets to check.
They will go and hide on the Cape Coast Takoradi Road. They will hide in a cave. They are checking your speed. They are going and hide in the cave. As soon as you appear, then you see one huge policeman on the Cape Coast stretch after Winnipeg Junction. Then you raise a speed gun at you. But constantly it is always there.
But if you,
so you wonder the speed.
But if you see them from a distance, you amend your ways.
Why you stop the thing from happening? And you know what the drivers do? Because they know this, and as soon as they pass, the police are there. They signal their colleagues. When they see you coming, they'll give you light. They'll remove their hands and do this. And so by the time you get to the police point, you slow down. As soon as you pass, you continue. It's not sustainable. That system is not sustainable. What others do is that when you take off, they tell you are supposed to drive maybe 100 kilometers on this stretch.
Right.
As soon as you enter that area, there's a camera that will pick your number plate and the time you are entering. By the time you are exiting at that point, and that camera will pick. So they're able to tell if you drove within the 100 kilometers or more than that. You get home and they bring you a card to come and pay.
We will get there.
You understand?
We have started installing cameras. We'll get there.
It shouldn't take us too long to get there. You know, it shouldn't take us too long. Like I said, the car will break down the road. The car is there. Nobody's picking it up. You can be driving the night. A tree will fall from somewhere, cross the main road. It will take days. It will be there. A broken car can be on the roof for only God knows how long. Nobody goes to tow it away from the place.
One point of interest before Cookie comes in to read us messages. the question of car owners demanding for sales from these drivers, which is not giving them the needed rest because they have to buy fuel, they have to eat, they have to pay the conductors, they have to pay themselves, and they still have to go and give sales to the car owners or the owners of the trucks or the buses. And so you find that they sometimes have to work double the shift to be able to make up for that demand. Should we begin to have a conversation and some regulation around it so that the drivers are also not in that fix to put all of us at risk?
I perfectly agree with you that we need to. There's something, see, we can introduce a new law that says that for every commercial vehicle, the car owner, to be sure that your driver is not cheating you, is not stealing your money, put a tracking device on the car. So even in the comfort of your home, you are able to tell the work the man is really doing on the road. So you don't blame him of going to work and keeping the money in his pocket. And because he has to come and give you so much money, instead of him resting after every 8 hours, the man is still driving after 12 hours. You know, he alone is dozing, is driving. And this is happening. Sometimes in the car, you can see that the driver really is dozing. And you talk to, let me just try and manage and get to the next town. And all of us who drive, it happens within a second.
Exactly.
Within a second, you are off. And before you could say, Jack, only God knows where you will be. And so, yes, it's one of the causes of the road accidents. The drivers must make their daily sales. They must also be able to get something to their pockets or take home. And so they have to do extra. Overloading. You see an oven car. They've loaded the top, they've loaded the boot. Human beings are packed in there and they are on their ways. Most of these cars are moving. They're not. Check even the lights. The lights are simply not good. Most vehicles in the night are using highlights. If you drive on the Kumasi Accra Road in the night, these long buses, as for them, they have the free will to do whatever they like. They are coming at you with top speed, highlights on, and they don't just care. You either, if you don't want problem, you veer off the road. And sometimes you ask, you are driving, following a car, these heavy duty cars. They don't have tail light. Their tail lights are not working. They are smoking so badly. So you hardly could see that there's even a car in front of you. And yet these cars will pass through a police barrier. Nobody stops them and parks them till the following morning. And so it's as if we are all helpless. We all know the problems. We know the cause of the problem. And we are looking at it and dancing around it.
Thank you.
We empathize with the family. 17 people in one accident. 17 people. You know, 16 others injured. You know, it's not good for our country. And this is just what has been reported. There are several others that maybe are not in the papers this morning.
Thank you very much, Mr. Fred Agbenyo. He's the Deputy Director in charge of International Relations at the NDC. Kukiti is the Deputy Director in charge of big issues here. She reads our messages for us. Cookie, welcome.
Johnny, did you just upgrade my situation? Anyway, thank you. Good morning, Johnny. Please, do you know that up till now, the GSS have not paid the DDQMT team for the just ended census. They have also refused to give us any reasons or assurance. I know you have a powerful voice, so please, Johnny, take this matter up for us.
The director was here in charge of that exercise. He had mentioned that they gave them gadgets to do their work and that they are expecting that they will return the gadgets to be able to give them their monies. If they have returned the gadgets and the monies have not been given to them, well, we can take a look at that and connect them to the Ghana Statistical Service.
All righty. Good morning, Johnny. This government came to destroy the private sector when they had no plans for creating jobs apart from lies and propaganda. Osman Bukiri Song in Tamale sent in that one. Johnny, God bless you and your family for speaking on behalf of our brothers and sisters with disability who were used for elections and disposed of secretly after. Albert Kweku, Brompa, and Ashale Botre sent in that one. Ayu Faru from Tamale says, good morning. What a wicked world under this MPP government. Persons living with disability being sacked from work. It's totally disheartening. Ayu Farouk, okay, I've read that one already. Good morning, Johnny. Your topic today about persons with disability should be a concern for everyone. In fact, these people have great innate abilities in them that we can harness for national developments. They need care, protection, love, and proper livelihood opportunities. And it is a collective responsibility for all of us. This is a wake-up call to the government. government to take urgent action. Abdul Majid Kumbungu sent in that one. Good morning, TV3. The government of the day must act swiftly to bring the persons with disability back to their work. Also, in as much as we called for government's intervention, we should acknowledge the efforts being put out by the Akufo-Addo government for persons with disability. MPP government thinks and cares for the less privileged in society. My name is Baba from Tamale. I am Dr. Down Blow from Brimso Apausika. The persistent harassment and intimidation of Honorable Francis Javier Sosu is regrettable. I was one of the first timers who started hailing the IGP for his professional way of handling issues, but I want to implore him to be professional and not partisan. As for MPP, they can easily ruin your hard-earned reputation. J.J. Rollins once advised us that as for the MPP, they have been consistent in their modus operandi and cannot change. The Speaker has been helpful in this issue. Leave the MP alone, for he has not done any wrong. My regards to Dr. Nana Ama Brown Kluche. Good morning, Johnny. Please remind the government that they still have not paid some of us our claims for 2 years, and now after the financial sector cleanup, and they kept mute about it. Either they pay our money or we pay them in 2024. Johnny, can I still go on?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Okay. It is very irritating and disgraceful, the actions exhibited by both the assembly members and the Honorable Kantanka. We have to also look at the broader picture where many of the presidential nominees have been confirmed 100%. It is a great achievement. Master Planner Junior from Kintampo sent in that one. Abbas Amogobo from Offensu says, good morning, Johnny. President Nana Addo has disappointed all of us. He has shown that he is only interested in winning elections and not solving the numerous challenges facing Ghana. They will collapse this country if care is not taken. Mahama is needed at the presidency now. Gariba Akonsi from Tamale says, good morning, TV3. The MP from the Medina constituency should honor the invitation of the police. The MP had promised the Medina people honey and gold, so he should go ahead and fulfill his promise to the Medina people and leave the government out of this. Johnny, this disability redundancy thing you spoke about is not a nationwide issue. The government can definitely not employ all disabled persons. You failed to tell us how many have so far been sacked nationwide. The only two you spoke about there, sometimes it can be pardoned, especially the lady who was asked to stop work because of repair works in the toll booth. The minister cannot be paid. You want to respond to that?
Yeah, I quickly want to give him a list because he's interested.
Okay.
Persons with disabilities sacked from toll booth work: Seth Akoli Akrato, Mark Apreku Akrato, Maxwell Drew Akrato, William Amati Akrato, Vincent Kuma Akrato, Obed Ochi Akrato, Ado Martin Akrato, Johnson Akrato, Moses Manimbe Kaswato, Selassie Deche Kaswato, Emmanuel Ejekum Kaswato, Selina Kwachi Kaswato, Ella Ameto, Pubimanto, Hannah Damite Setreto, Beatrice Acha Tabreto, Emmanuel Emilia Ousuansa Tabreto, Emmanuel Obuo Boating Kubiasito, Goodluck Umar Kubiasito, Bismarck Kubiasito, Charity Danso Kubiasito, Felicia Entry Kubiasito, Benjamin Otu Kubiasito, Seth Oting Kubiasito, and Abdul Hamid Razak Buipeto. So now come again. Stop defending everything. I've told you, young people, don't tie your apron strings to that of old people and be defending everything. These are young people. It could happen to you tomorrow. Stop defending everything.
I'll take the last message that says that, good morning, TV3. This is very disgusting. It's a disgusting video, and shame on us as a country. These are the things that happens and it comes to affect our development projects in the communities, because the DCE or MCE must get his or her money back. I expect the special prosecutor to explicitly invite him and probe this corrupt practice. Going forward, I pray government and suggest that our assemblymen should be put on allowance and elections of the DCE should be done by the general public. Let them convince us of their competence for their vote in 2024. Victor Rapture in Ho sent in that one.
Thank
Over
you
to
very
you,
much,
Johnny.
Cookie.
You're very
most
welcome.
grateful that you could read this. Fred, wrap up for me. Your closing thoughts. Dr. Bamia will hold a seminar on digitization and how to bring back the economy on track and how to raise it. Your closing thoughts on that?
Well, Johnny, I think that before I even come to that, what is happening between the police service and Madina MP, I think it's uncalled for. We need to nail that issue in the bud as quickly as possible. I don't think that I have listened to the director of public relations of the Ghana Police Service, Mr. Ofori,
ACP Kwesi, right.
And I'm disappointed.
Why?
I listened to him, I think, yesterday on City FM, and I think he said, they went to the MP's church, on Sunday. He was claiming that they didn't send anybody over there to go and
for intelligence gathering.
It's appalling. The statement he issued. We are not children in this country. People, we all can read between the lines. Let's stop these things. Those days of policing, those colonial days behavior is past and gone. Let's do things professionally. Let's do things nicely. Let's do what does he want to achieve? What do they want to achieve?
Okay.
I think that it's not appropriate. As for Dr. Baumia and his storytelling,
the lecture is yet to happen. Don't poo-poo it.
I am not poo-pooing it. I'm only saying that where we are now, the time for telling stories is past. Now it's time to govern. If you are doing well, the people of this country will see. You don't need to run around schools and institutions giving lectures and talking. He did that before elections. Based on that, Ghanaians voted for him. He convinced the people of this country that he has what it takes to help bring about development. That's why they voted for him. Now you're in power. Bring about the needed development. Let us see, let us feel it. Don't come and be lecturing and talking to us and tell our stories. We've had enough of that.
Thank you. Fred Agbenyo is Deputy Director of International Relations at the NDC. On this occasion, we didn't have a government spokesperson, or we didn't hear from government side. We kept an empty chair here throughout the 1 hour duration of the program, as is practice for current affairs programs where you give both sides a chance to speak. We didn't have a government representative. So just to bring you attention, I don't know if they're on strike. A happy birthday to Fafa, choreographer of Music, Mentor X, member of the 3 Dance Foundation dance crew, and winners of 3 FM Dance Challenge. Happy birthday to you, Fafa. Also a happy birthday to Sister Gloria Ampho, Asamoah of Dansoman, and Akwamu Jekiti and Alpha Beta School. This is from Ampho Asamoah family. Also to 60th birthday to you, Mrs. Samuel Hansen Thompson. You are an in-law to Senior Lady Nana Madankwa Smith of the Royal House Chapel. Happy birthday to you. I hear there's a mass happening this morning at the Ray Church. Also to Lucy Nyakwa, Wa Municipal Hospital. Good morning to you. And also, this is a belated birthday wish to Ivan Boating, Managing Director of the Sapem branch of DBS. Now, I understand that the National Security Strategy will hold a sensitization workshop for the judiciary this morning, and it will be at the Supreme Court building, strictly by invitation and there's a selected press. So, General Kotia, I know that you do a good job as always. Good morning to you, sir, and thank you very much indeed. Happy birthday to you, Frifa Mensa. We'll see you after the break. There's more here on New Day. We're focusing on youth unemployment, and we will continue in that stead. We want to see how we are able to, as young people, also look at other opportunities that are available and not just to wallow in pity parties. We'll see you after the break.